Hey everyone, I just read Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and you know what? It was pretty good. Finally, some decent food. It's a book about a band of young thieves called the Dregs hired to break into a prison called the Ice Court in order to recover the creator of a powerfully addictive drug capable of enhancing a mage's power at the behest of powerful political entities, but not everything is as it seems. The pros? The setting is greatly expanded from the Shadow and Bone trilogy. It is so nice to be out of Ravka and in the muck of Ketterdam and Theoda. The world building here is great. It feels much more mature and much less young adulty than the previous books too. It was also a huge breath of fresh air to have more than one point of view character. The narrators are all really interesting people with their own lives, and their own issues, and their own loyalties, and best of all, when they did come to blows with each other, it rarely ever felt contrived. And the story spins a pretty good yarn. There are a couple of dud moments, but there are also a lot of great set pieces and fun twists, especially toward the end. It does still end on a bit of a cliffhanger, but it feels earned this time around. It's a real page turner. The cons? I probably disliked Matthias the most out of the narrators, not because he wasn't an interesting character. I think a witch hunter grudgingly falling for a witch is a pretty good setup for a person, but he is such a little edgelord and his inner turmoil is resolved in the dumbest way at the end. It just felt too much like the sort of thing that played the Shadow and Bone trilogy for me to really get invested in. There's maybe a little too much going on in this book. It does a pretty good job of juggling all of its plot threads and bringing them to a satisfying conclusion, but even so, I was a little lost on a couple of things by the end. And since this book is set after the events of the Shadow and Bone trilogy, there are a bunch of references to what happened in those books, and most of the time I didn't mind them, but there were one or two that just stretched the suspension of disbelief. It felt like they were there more for the sake of the reference than because it made sense for the story, but whatever, it's a nitpick. This book was a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed it. I'd easily recommend it over the entire Shadow and Bone trilogy, and honestly suggest you start with it if you're a fan of young adult fantasy, or if the setting sounds interesting to you, because it is just a better book in general, and I'm giving Six of Crows an A. What should I read next? Comment a suggestion down below. If you enjoyed the review and want to see more, please like, subscribe, and share the video around. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.